It's almost November.
Gotta love it, right? I know the Cleveland Browns are loving it.
We'll certainly take it. Zane Gonzalez, the rookie out of Arizona State, boots it through the back of the end zone. And so Marcus Mariota, 300 yards
Kicking team
passing.
number 24. 5-yard penalty added to the end of the play. 1st and 10, Tennessee at the 30-yard line.
Well, we didn't see the flag, but you see Terry McCauley make the call against Cleveland in their own 30. Mariota working from the gun, quick strike, up the seam, completes. That's Rashard Matthews, his #1 receiver, and just like that, Philip Supernaw, the backup tight end in motion. They call it for Murray, his first take of the day. Murray playing on that bulky right hamstring at practice, was actually in a walking boot during pregame warmups, and he is down. That's a huge loss. 2nd and short. This is Murray again, and it doesn't look like he has the first down, so Murray a little bit short. Derrick Henry, the lone setback, 3rd and 1. It is indeed Henry, able to get downhill, and he does have enough for the first down. Henry was so good last week, his first career 100-yard rushing game, 19 carries.
It's downhill.
Both had an equal number of snaps last week, 39, as they go right back to Murray here. And Murray has been so tough, that lingering right hamstring injury. He was expected to get a heavy workload today. The lone setback, Mariota fakes to him. This is a little flick to Delaney Walker. A little misdirection play by Tennessee, close to the 31. Appears to be a little bit short.
Settle for field goals, so they have to pick up another first.
7th play of the drive, Mariota going up the seam. That pass is incomplete. Off the hands of the rookie tight end, Jonnu Smith, who's had some big moments now. Late flag comes in. Could potentially be a face mask penalty.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask. Offense number 77. Penalties decline. 4th down.
On a short 4th and 1.
Boy, some pre-snap movement. Was Cleveland drawn offside? Needed only a yard. It was Danny Shelton who came across.
Offside, defense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Belarkey rolling the dice on 4th down. And they have it 1st and 10 from right around the 28. This is Murray trying to find some daylight on the outside. Murray, the 3-time Pro Bowler, including last season with that incredible bounce-back year. Both of those matchups factor into this game early on. The opening possession, little pitch play. Mariota to Henry, and Cleveland's defense in front not fooled. Christian Kirksey since the beginning of last season. Mariota from the gun here on 3rd and 13. Goes underneath, little check down maneuver to the rookie Taywan Taylor. Nowhere near the first down marker, needed the 17. And the holder is Brett Kern. Suckup has been Mr. Automatic, and that continues as he is good just inside that right upright.
Same amount of interceptions that they had the entire season last year with 5 different starting quarterbacks.
Matthew Days will take a knee, and so Kaiser will have it. As a couple of weeks reports that he was sent home last Saturday night, missing curfew the night before that game in Houston. He and Corey Coleman, who is still on the shelf, left their game against Indy with that knee injury, is up and making the start. 2nd and 7. This is Crowell finding the edge. Faced with a critical early 3rd down here. They need the 35. One play call. This is Crowell, and boy, he is stood up by that Titans front. Rakpo has been so good for Tennessee. Pro Bowl season last year. And leading sack man a year ago for Dick LeBeau as well. Good looking punt here by Britton Colquitt. Adoree Jackson making the first guy miss. Has been electric in the return game. Has actually returned 2 punts this season. As Mariota and company take over from their own 25. See him kind of bobble that snap for a moment, recovers quickly, and then finds the tight end Jonnu Smith.
On a run and did nothing but carve up that Indianapolis Colts secondary.
This is Henry coming off that 131-yard rushing performance last week.
To target his tight end and his backs in the middle of the field.
See what they've done in these situations on the season. Dangerous ball there. Intended for Rashard Matthews, and it falls incomplete.
This week he lines up as the starting outside corner and makes a big play.
So Tennessee will punt, and a good-looking Punt here by Brett Kern as Bryce Treggs will watch that one out of bounds. There is a flag thrown
During
back
the
at the
kick,
line of scrimmage.
Holding receiving team number 24. Half minutes to the goal. First down, timeout.
As the Sean Kaiser up against the tough spot here as they begin just outside their own 5-yard line. On 1st and 10, he goes to the airways near side of the field to find Ricardo Lewis to go back home. With a long heart-to-heart with his folks to kind of get their advice about how to resurrect his rookie season as a running play called here to Crowell, a pickup of 5. Kaiser from the gun here on 3rd and 2 goes underneath. This is Duke Johnson Jr., who's been so good as a receiver out of the backfield. They only needed a couple.
The throws that they've got to make, and so far he's done that.
Little bootleg maneuver here, finds the fullback, Danny Vitale. And look at the big, strong Vitale taking on tacklers.
Putting together some early drives.
Duke Johnson, the lone setback. Kaiser fakes to him and goes to Johnson through the airways. Johnson across the 40. And suddenly this Browns offense showing some life. So they'll check Williamson on the sideline. Fresh set of downs for Cleveland. Keep it on the ground here to Johnson. Actually their leader with 26 catches. That says a lot about Johnson's
season. He has been hurt and hasn't played up to his potential.
There's Kaiser on 2nd and 8. Quick strike. As he finds Kenny Britt here, and a team that brought him into the league. Former 30th overall pick back in 2009. Kaiser throwing a bullet right up the seam, and that is caught. Field, so a good sign for Tennessee here. But their defense on its heels. 1st and 10 as the Browns working from inside Tennessee territory. Pickup of only a couple here by Isaiah Crowell, tackled by Carl Klug. As we begin the second quarter, Spirodidis, Adam Archuleta. This is a direct snap to Duke Johnson, now to Kaiser. As Hugh Jackson goes into his bag of tricks, you see the flag thrown. That's where Johnson has been so good. Puts him in the spin machine, breaking a tackle. Now we'll check on the penalty. What a maneuver by Johnson there to make him miss. A pickup of 5.
Holding, offense number 87. 10-yard penalty, second down.
That's away the nifty little run by Johnson. Isaiah Crowell, the lone setback. Kaiser from the gun here on 2nd and 18. Nowhere to throw. He'll tuck it away, try to run for some yardage. Another flag is thrown as Kaiser runs for it out of bounds inside the Tennessee 40. But this one could be coming back.
Use of hands to the face. Offense number 34. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Breaking penalties stall this drive.
All the way back now to their own 37-yard line on 2nd and 28. Just desperately trying to get some of those yards back.
There's too much of a hole to try and overcome.
Kaiser on 3rd and 25, running for his life. And yeah, we spent some time with Dick LeBeau.
That's one area that he's still trying to figure out.
And here's Colquitt, who's been very good this season. 32 punts. Has yet to have a touchback on the year. Incredible. And a good coverage team play down the field. And you see him in a walking boot. That is more for precautionary reasons. It's obviously unable to go today. Huge loss in that secondary. Mariota taking a shot off the field, and it is incomplete. Delaney Walker, the intended receiver, and what a late recovery. And with McCourty out on the other side of the field at that left cornerback position. This is Henry. Able to squirt his way up past the 25. McCourty, of course, had the big night.
There with a double right there.
Mariota to the air, completes. First down and more. That's Walker. The football comes loose. Officials say that he was down by contact.
Hugh Jackson has to challenge this. This is going to be a no catch. Ball came out before the forearm or elbow hit the ground.
Cleveland is challenged, but the receiver did not complete the pass.
Was this a completion or not? Call on the field is that it is a completed catch. Christian Kirksey was there on the tackle. And Adam, this is close. You see the football come loose.
After review, the receiver completed the catch and fumbled prior to being down by contact. The ball was recovered by Cleveland. It will be first down, 10 yards to go for Cleveland at the 40-yard line. Cleveland is not charged with a timeout. Please set the game clock to 12 minutes, 11 seconds.
Kaiser from the gun. As they begin from the 40, Kaiser underneath. This is Crowell. Breaking the initial tackle inside the 30, close to the 25-yard line. A pickup of 15. We've seen Cleveland move the ball offensively, but can they punch it into the end zone? As Crowell lowers his shoulder, gets close to the 22, New York, and JB. Browns down 3-0. Working after the Delaney Walker fumble. Kaiser underneath. It'll check down to Crowell inside the 15. Crowell taking on tacklers. Chopped down right at the 10-yard line. Daquan Jones.
Blanket Kaiser needs underneath.
Good start so far for Kaiser. You see his numbers as Crowell sneaking close to the 10. And this is where Kaiser, Adam, has really struggled.
That's right look. Watch the left flat.
Kaiser goes underneath. This is Johnson. Excellent tackle by the safety, Kevin Byard.
But being safe, kicking the field goal may be more important.
Kaiser taking a shot to the end zone. It's incomplete. Looking for the rookie tight end, David Njoku.
For Hugh Jackson.
How about Cleveland? This is only their 7th attempted field goal of the season. Zane Gonzalez, who had missed 3 of his last 4, is good here. So the rookie bangs it in. Are tied at 3 with 8 change left before halftime. Spiro Dedes, Adam Archuleta, our entire CBS crew here from First Energy Stadium on a beautiful day.
Where's the faux gator at?
Good old mascot here in Cleveland. This is Murray trying to grit his way through that right hamstring injury. Good play by Derek Kindred, one of their starting safeties.
Pass the ball on the Cleveland Browns so far, doing a nice job.
On 2nd and 11, so Tennessee clearly trying to stay committed to their running game.
Let's look from Greg Williams.
Mariota from the gun, quick strike, and completes. It's Delaney Walker, the over-the-shoulder catch, a pickup of 7. Want to know about Myles Garrett, don't you? He knew exactly where we were going. This is Murray going nowhere. Unable to find any day late. Mariota 2nd and 13. This is Walker again. Brought down just shy of the 40.
Matthews in motion, one of the big 3rd down targets for the quarterback.
Mariota 3rd and 7, pulls it back. He's going to run for it. This is what we did not see much of from Mariota last week.
But he does enough to get the 1st down.
7th play of the drive. This is Murray. Has a wide open seam. Inside Cleveland territory, 1st down, run and more. 17 yards against Seattle away. It was over 100 yards, that big, long 70-plus yard touchdown run. This is Murray out of the backfield, a weapon. Good-looking play. Here's Mariota, favorable 2nd and short. You see him, could be a free play. Mariota, the quick strike near side of the field to Matthews, who is quickly upended. And now we'll check on the penalty.
Offsides. Defense number 99. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Penalty against Cleveland. You see the 6 total. Little pitch play, Mariota. This is Eric Weems. Another misdirectional play as Weems ducks his way inside the 20, brought down by Jamar Taylor.
Of the field to try and get in the end zone.
Mariota the pitch. This is Henry trying to find the edge. Run out of bounds just inside the 15-yard line. Again movement pre-snap. Officials whistle the play dead. Myles Garrett came across prematurely. Was he drawn offside?
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 95. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Take by the rookie Garrett. Fresh set of downs for Tennessee. 1st and goal. Just inside the 10. This is Murray. And this is where Mariota, Adam, has been surgical offensively. Extended by that defensive offside penalty on Garrett. Mariota has time, throws underneath, inside the 5, incomplete. Intended for the rookie Taywon Taylor,
who has been a great red zone weapon in his career, has to show up.
Top of your picture is Decker. Mariota, near side of the field. This is Murray breaking the initial tackle, still going. And Murray showing that toughness, taking on tacklers. Bo Brinkley is the snapper and Brett Kern is the holder. And Mr. Automatic does it again. to get Tennessee back on top. 6-3 on CBS.
The difference between the first half and the second half is dramatic, the way the Titans play football.
And not to mention the fact that they needed a lot of help from that Cleveland defense with the penalties. Some time with his folks and the rest of his family. You see him run the 2-minute drill here. Browns have one timeout left as that pass intended for Duke Johnson is incomplete. We'll see how Mike Mularkey manages the clock here. Kaiser under pressure evades the sack somehow. Running for his life, able to. Suddenly you've got plenty of clock and 3 timeouts. Kaiser on 3rd and 10, letting it rip up the far side. Is it a catch? Officials say yes.
Did he get out?
As a member of the Browns, big catch there to get him a fresh set of downs. Kaiser fakes right, goes to his check down underneath. This is Johnson taking on tacklers inside Titans territory. A first 49 seconds left, 2nd and 10. Browns have their final timeout left. Now the whistles blow the play dead. We'll see what Terry McCauley says here. The marker was thrown right around the line of scrimmage.
False start, offense number 85. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
An elusive win that Cleveland has not tasted since Christmas Eve of last season. Kaiser under pressure, completes, that's DeBell, showing the wheels. Inside the 35-yard line, it's a pickup of 18 and a first down. Browns have to be careful here. They're out of timeouts. 40 seconds left as Kaiser runs that 2-minute. Under pressure, steps up in the pocket. And the pass is incomplete, intended for Crowell. Entering week 7. Kaiser under pressure again, steps up, takes the shot. Penalty flag is thrown. We'll get the call here from Terry McCauley. Rashard Higgins was the intended receiver.
Holding, defense number 25. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
From the Tennessee 28, Cleveland without timeouts. Kaiser delivers that pass and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kevin Byard. 5 of Kaiser's 10 picks have now come in the red zone. Mariota's pass intended for Murray is incomplete. Mariota 11 of 16, 80 yards so far in this first half. And he is dicked. Jamie Collins. Last season, December the 24th, a victory over San Diego. It came in the final seconds. Over 302 calendar days since that last win.
Critical error at the end of the second quarter could haunt him.
So here's Isaiah Crowell. Hugh Jackson said that watching him last week was the best that Crowell has run the football this season.
Disposal to try and keep Tennessee's defense off balance.
This is Crowell again. Keep in mind, this is a Cleveland offense that is still without Corey Coleman, their young, highly touted receiver who's
to a critical error. See if Dick LeBeau continues that trend and keeps the pressure on.
Where does Kaiser go on 3rd and 8? Had to step up to avoid the rush. And there's the late flag come in. Rashard Higgins, the intended receiver. Logan Ryan on the coverage.
Illegal contact. Defense number 26. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
I always tend to let him play a little bit. Don't like that call.
Former Super Bowl champion with New England. Kaiser on a bootleg pass, and that pass is picked out of the air. Second interception for Kevin Byard. He had the red zone pick late in the first half, and he does it again here. Byard, the former 3rd-round pick out of Middle Tennessee State, quickly earned LeBeau's trust as a rookie last season.
Offside, defense number 95. 5-yard penalty, first down.
You know, the first
Incredible. And the second such infraction against Myles Garrett. This is Murray breaking tackles. Boy, how gritty has he been today. That'll be a first down run for Murray.
Marco Murray, more downhill, more violent, more getting the offensive line to fire off.
This is Murray again. And we asked, Mike Mularkey about Murray, and Murray's
The guys that Mariota has to try and find a way to get the ball to in these situations.
Decker still without a catch. Mariota's pass. That's Matthews. Boy, right on cue. First and goal. Titans from the 1. Run play called. Murray trying to sneak his way into the end zone. Appears to be short.
It makes it so the edge defenders don't have to respect him getting on the edge as much, and they can crash down inside.
Mariota play action throwing end zone. A little bit too low and incomplete.
Hasn't been quite as sharp in the red zone this season.
3rd and goal. Murray trying to find daylight, and he is short. Ball is snapped. Derrick Henry, is he in? No signal yet, and appears to be short, and it will be Cleveland football. Incredible. Elevated to their backup quarterback this week, is onto the field, and boy, you couldn't put him in a tougher set of circumstances here, just outside the end zone. Just trying to get some room to maneuver. Here's the penalty.
Offside, defense number 97. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Former 3rd-round pick out of USC, suddenly getting a chance. Hand off here out of the shotgun to Crowell, who darts out past the 10. A pickup of 7.
Zone and the scoring opportunities, the turnovers will not be tolerated by Hugh Jackson.
Quick strike, Kessler finding Kenny Britt. Well, at least at the moment, Hugh is putting winning games as the #1 priority.
From Cody Kessler last season, how he competed.
Kessler to the air here, very close to the first down marker. It's Ricardo Lewis on the catch, and the officials say it will indeed be a first down.
Did take care of the football. 2 things that Hugh Jackson wants to see from his quarterback.
Here's Kessler on first down, throwing it far side of the field, and it is caught. Good looking throw by Kessler there, finding Lewis. Njoku, the tight end in motion. Run play called to Johnson. Good looking run on first down. Johnson across the 40 as we go to New York. Get an update, JB and Phil. All right, JB, Kessler working quickly here. 2nd down, taking a shot. He's got Njoku. Big catch by the rookie tight end. A pickup of 31.
Puts it on a line so the free safety can't come over and make that play.
First down run by Johnson. Tackled on the play by Avery Williamson. His left arm. There were chants of Joe here during the stoppage. This is Crowell, who's going backwards. So the first snap that Thomas has ever missed. Gesture by Taylor Lewan come over. One of the most respected players in the NFL is Thomas. We certainly hope for the best. Kessler on the run. Bad pass. We saw it bobbled by Njoku. The officials say incomplete. Gonzalez hitting from 31 earlier. This one 47 yards out. And the rookie is good. Cleveland able to tie this game at 6. And we are tied at 6. How about Cody Kessler gets his number called by Hugh Jackson, middle of the 3rd quarter. The ball at his own 1-yard line. What does he do? He drives him in the field goal range in week 7. Now, can Mariota and this offense get something going? This is Walker. Right up the seam. Walker had that fumble. They'll keep it on the ground here. This is Derrick Henry. Only his 6th last hit of the afternoon. You see the Titans sideline screaming for a late hit. No flag.
3 touchdowns, 1 interception in the 2nd.
Here's Henry. Updated piece of news from the Cleveland sideline. Joe Thomas, one of the all-time greats at his position. Mariota faking the pass and it gives to Henry. Joe Schobert on the tackle. He'll work from the gun on 2nd and 9. One play called, little flea flicker. Mariota throwing far side of the field, has his man, that's Taylor. A little spinning maneuver inside Cleveland territory. Jacksonville, who's up big right now against Indianapolis. A loss today would be disastrous as Henry is blown up. Derek Kindred, who's had a big defensive day. No McCourty and Jabril Peppers today. Little underneath pass to Henry. See if he can't do some damage as a pass catcher. Final seconds coming off the clock. Under a half minute to play. A pickup of 8 here. December the 24th, Christmas Eve of last season. We begin the fourth quarter with a critical 3rd and 7. Mariota throwing towards the end zone. It is incomplete. Here's Ryan Suckup to extend his NFL record streak. 53 straight inside of 50. This one from 46, and he is good. So I would have put in a little pita bread, maybe a little tzatziki sauce.
Yeah.
Honor our Greek heritage. Mouth-watering. Matthew Days will play it from his own end zone. Streaking up the sideline, gets out close to the 25. A pickup of 31. Forced to fill some very big shoes at left tackle. Here's Cody Kessler, the quarterback change. If you've just joined us, coming on in relief of Deshaun Kaiser. Little check down to Duke Johnson.
That's the effort. That was a 2-point loss, but he knows about this defense.
Here's Kessler again, puts some air under it. Has Njoku. Pretty ball thrown by Kessler. This kid out of USC, Kessler. 8 games as a starter last year. Started their offseason program as their #1 quarterback. That 27-yarder a moment ago to Njoku. On 2nd and 8, Kessler able to escape and wisely throws it out of bounds around the offensive line. And thrust into a huge roll here. This is Kessler. A little underneath pass to Johnson. Close to the first down marker, but he is short by a couple of yards. Picks up 5 here.
That left side. Here you go, Kessler in shotgun formation.
Quick snap. They're going to roll the dice. On 4th and 3, Kessler taking a shot, and it's incomplete.
Who's been reliable.
So the Titans take over, turnover on downs, and their run game continues to go backwards. Derrick Henry, Tennessee Titans, just 190 yards of total offense and 3 field goals to show for their effort. To this point, Mariota's pass is incomplete, and you said it. Second game for Mariota since missing the game a couple of weeks ago with a hamstring injury. 3rd and 14, that pass is caught. Taywan Taylor going down low for that pass last week in the 4th, first career touchdown catch, and he's followed that up with another big day today. A run play called here to Henry inside the 40. In the offseason, Caleb Brantley, their rookie 6th-round pick out of Florida, has taken his place. 2nd and 4, this is Henry again. Not much room to maneuver there, so a critical 3rd down coming up. Myles Garrett. Mariota, quick pass, it's caught, but they're going to be short of the first down, not even close. His long kick on the season is 52. That kick is no good. He missed it. Wide left. Certainly leaves the door open for Cleveland with plenty of clock left. 8:44 remaining. This is Isaiah Crowell. Little play action from Kessler. He's going to throw it. Near side of the field. It's caught. That's Rashard Higgins breaking the initial tackle. Second half by Hugh Jackson. 2nd interception that he threw. And now Cody Kessler getting a chance. Little end-around play. This is Bryce Treggs. Again, whom they signed just earlier this month off Philly's practice squad.
It's a boost of energy.
Kessler inactive the first 6 weeks of the season. He has played well. It is completed to 9 different receivers in this game. Total have the Cleveland quarterbacks. Kessler from the gun here. This is Judson. First down and more. Judson putting him in the old spin cycle. Late flag comes in. Boy, what's the call here? Wesley Woodyard on the stop. It's a pickup of 11.
Pass interference. Offense number 80. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Pass interference penalties. It has been a major theme this season for the Browns. Kessler off the seam, and that pass is intercepted, and guess who? It's Byard. His 3rd interception of the day. And the interception bug biting Kessler. There is a flag thrown at the
There are 2 fouls
Tennessee
on the play.
31.
Prior to the pass, holding offense number 72. That penalty's declined. During the return, illegal block in the back, intercepting team number 25. 10-yard penalty, first down Tennessee.
Kessler's trying to hit his receiver deep in the hole, but the vision and the break on the ball right there by Byard. It's another easy overthrow. Kessler, nobody is open downfield. He's just trying to make something happen.
And they just cannot seem to figure it out offensively. This is DeMarco Murray. And the Titans certainly not out of the woods yet. Well, a run option play here. Mariota nowhere to throw. Boy, what a play by Myles Garrett. Was not fooled. And Mariota wisely.
Long.
3rd and 16. Mariota off the seam, incomplete.
So far here in this fourth quarter, they haven't ran a lick.
Bryce Treggs is going to play it. Not much room to maneuver up the sideline. Now late marker thrown behind the play.
During return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 20. 10-yard penalty, first down.
By the way, is back on the field, so good news for the Titans here. With Cleveland down 3 and running out of clock. This is Duke Johnson Jr. Picks up a couple. This is Johnson. Wide open seam right over center. First down run and more.
Johnson to pick up a big run.
Longest rush of the day for Cleveland. This is Kessler, and he is set. Derek Morgan, who was a question mark this week with that abdominal strain.
Then Derek Morgan with a huge sack.
First team sack for the Titans. Couldn't have come at a better time for them. This pass is taken by Crowell. Gets past the original line of scrimmage, but still well short.
You got 2 tries at it here, 2 down territory.
Kessler from the gun, 3rd and 7. Titans giving chase. Kessler throwing it and incomplete.
In the second half of this game.
Kessler over the middle, has his man. First down, Johnson and more. Inside Tennessee territory, a pickup of 10.
He wins the route and a good ball by Kessler.
Keep in mind the Browns have all 3 timeouts left. Little delayed handoff. This is Johnson.
Time for a timeout.
41-yarder entering the day is as long. Today hit a 47-yarder, so that has to add into the confidence of Jackson. But they're not by much. Hard to trust those rookie kickers as
Tight ends have been open over the middle.
Kessler on 3rd and 8. Underneath pass, it was low. Crowell taking it, boy, right over the turf. This one looked awfully close. Boy, you see it right there, kind of jar a little bit right as it came above the turf. Inside of 2 minutes, so this is automatically looked at up top by the replay officials here.
So when I watch this play, you know, it's so close and we have to slow this down frame by frame. You know, in real
After
time.
the pass hit the ground, it's an incomplete pass. Please set the game clock to 51 seconds. It will be 4th down and 8 on the 36-yard line.
And the 22-year-old rookie, Zane Gonzalez, boy, a knuckleball coming back left, and he is good. And we remind you that Jacksonville en route to a big win today, so that'll get their record to 4-3. The Titans trying to keep pace.
Go high defense.
Mariota's going to take his shot, far side of the field. That pass is incomplete. Eric Decker trying to make what would have been an incredible catch.
From Greg Williams.
2nd and 10. Titans have 3 timeouts. Mariota over the middle to Walker, and he pays the price to get their record to 4-3.
He's going at Delaney Walker 9 times today.
3rd and 2. Mariota's pass low and incomplete.
Making those critical mistakes right there, not on the same page.
Browns have 2 timeouts left, not a lot of time. 20 seconds and counting. Bryce Treggs going to play it from just inside his 10. Out of bounds right around the 13-yard line. We do have 2 timeouts. Again, if you've just joined us, Cleveland looking for their first win since December the 24th of last season, and they'll take a knee, content to take this thing in overtime. Tennessee trying to keep pace with the Texans enjoying their bye week. And kick through the back of the end zone, and now Cody Kessler.
He's a winner that he go out there, give it his best. Got a great chance right here.
We'll start the overtime with a run play to Isaiah Crowell. Second and 10. Kessler hit on the throw. That pass, boy, was catchable. If you've just joined us, ending his long Iron Man streak. Kessler running for his life again. No choice but to throw it out of bounds. And so the Browns unable to generate any offense here
Since Thomas has left the game.
Britton Colquitt on to punt. This is Adoree Jackson wrapped up. Excellent punt coverage by the Browns. 38 yards in the punt. Can Marcus Mariota put their offensive ills behind them and lead them to an overtime win? To the air here. And boy, he has looked almost exclusively in the direction of his Pro Bowl tight end Delanie Walker. Philip Supernaw, their 4th-year man, has come on in relief of Walker. First down run by Henry. Flag comes in behind the line of scrimmage. It's a pickup of 3. We'll get the penalty.
Offense number 81. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Mariota from the gun on 1st and 20. Check down pass incomplete. Right through the hands of Henry. And that's what he'll be thinking about tonight.
Throw here. Second long.
2nd and 20. This is Smith. Inside Cleveland territory. The rookie breaking tackles inside the 45. A pickup of 14.
Nope. No middle of the field help.
Mariota's pass is incomplete. Intended for Decker.
Isolation route on a critical down and come down with a big play.
So Brett Kern on to punt. Malarkey taking no chances. Succop's career long only 54 yards, and that not the bounce that Tennessee was hoping for.
Extra tight end over there to give up some help.
We'll start with a run play to Crowell, who started last week for them in Houston. Little fake on the pitch, all kinds of confusion that time as Kessler just throws it out of bounds.
Dear Hugh Jackson.
And now faced with a tough 39 here. Kessler from the gun. Here they come again. Kessler flushed out, and he is buried. Derek Morgan and a rack post swallow him up. That clock's still running. 6 and change left in overtime. Who wants this game? As neither of these two offenses can figure it out. This is Adoree Jackson. Dangerous return man. 5-yard penalty at the end of that play. A player coming back in from out of bounds, so they tack it on at the end of the return in Tennessee's favor. And this is Murray now.
And try and get into this backfield.
This is Murray again. Well, that illegal procedure penalty looms large. They tack on the 5 yards to start this drive for Tennessee. Lines up towards the top of your picture against Decker. Mariota's pass is complete. First down catch, Rashard Matthews.
Bring now, knock him back.
This would be a 52-yarder from right here for Succop. As Murray lunges forward, picks up a couple of extra, brought down.
Right up the middle right here.
This is Henry.
He's going to go right downhill.
This is Murray. Ducks just inside the 30. We don't want to pick up any penalties here. Keep in mind, Cleveland does have both timeouts left. Good snap, good hold, and Succop is perfect. And the Tennessee Titans survive in overtime.